Three 30,000 kilometers yourself on a bike across 26 countries.
Say if 300,000 farmers commit suicide, if still a nation and a society can sleep on it peacefully, it needs something to stimulate people, isn't it?
Namaskaram. Firstly, Sadhguru, I cannot even begin to tell you…
Oh, you speak, I thought you were a Mouni.
How significant is this movement for the farming community?
Tell me, will there be farming without soil? Then it is most significant for farming community and it's most significant for every human being who eats something. Because every responsible scientist in the world is pointing out that by 2045, we'll be producing 40% less food and our populations will be over 9 billion. That's a disastrous world. That's not a world in which you want to live, not a world where you want to leave your children and go. You tell me, if you were a farmer, if your soil was rich and you could at least produce food for your own family, would you kill yourself?
No, never.
Definitely not, isn't it? So we need to address this. Suicides happen because farming on degraded soil is heartbreaking. So, is it significant for the farmer? Absolutely. Right now, in India, you heard of farmer suicides all over. About 300,000 farmers have committed suicide since 2000. How many more should die? In United States, 50% of the farmers have not made a single dollar in the last 12 years. The highest number of suicides among any particular profession is in the farming community in United States, the richest country in the world. You must visit some of the farms that we have regenerated and see how happy the farmer is, how his life is. Not only in economic terms, just the joy of being on the land which is rich and full of energy. But right now, as a generation, if we do not do this, we will seriously regret this because the biodiversity loss, the way it is happening is such, if you allow this to go for another 30 to 40 years, it will take 150 to 200 years to turn it around. But if we do it now, in 10 to 15 or maximum 20 years, we can make a significant turnaround. This is a commitment, this is a responsibility, and this is also a privilege of our generation because we are in that cusp of time where we can make the difference. I think we should make the difference. To speak of soil, say something of soil. For 100 days from 21st of March, everybody speaks soil. You don't have to say anything about me, you don't have to support me, you speak soil. Today we have means on the social media platforms to aggregate all this and see how many people were talking about soil. If political parties and governments realize over 60% of the electorate are talking about soil, do you think they will not make it the election issue next time around? If the policy change needs to happen, people have to show that intent. So right now, this is all it is about. The whole movement is about getting the intent from the world, from the citizens of various nations, that we have the intent for long-term well-being of our lives and future lives. Because right now we are consuming the soil of the unborn child.
That's true.
That's a cruel thing to do. That's a very cruel thing to do, but we are doing that. So just because you're blissfully unaware, that doesn't mean it's not happening. So, this is where we are right now. Do whatever you want. Everybody spend at least 10 minutes for these 100 days. From 21st of March, 100 days, at least minimum 10 minutes to enhance the message. Just meet somebody on the street and say something about, this is a serious issue. Every day meet somebody new and tell them, please, this is needed. And instead of doing all this hi-bye, say save soil. Because if we don't do this now, we'll be doing bye-bye to good life itself. The goodness of life will go away from us.
30,000 kilometers yourself on a bike across 26 countries.
See, if 300,000 farmers commit suicide, if still a nation and a society can sleep on it peacefully, it needs something to stimulate people, isn't it? I'm going through the worst of weather, I'm in the European winter and a war Arabian heat, it's around 38–40 degrees out there. In Europe, it's sub-zero in many of the places. When I enter India, I'm in the peak of monsoon.